now that I know he's okay.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
You guys are going to feel even better with this game. Thank you so much and have fun.
Thank you, Shivar. We got game 1 underway. Na'Vi versus Tundra. Best of 3 elimination series, Cinderman, in the group stage here. What are your thoughts on the lineups? A lot of talk about this Night Stalker. We haven't gotten to see a whole lot of him because he's banned every time.
Yep. Tundra choose to let it through in this game, and as a result, they will play against 200% win rate heroes in this tournament so far, which is Night Stalker and Enchantress, who has a 4-0 record, I believe it was. So, on top of that, Na'Vi also got their hands on Tide and Ember, who are 2 of the higher win rate heroes as well, with a much larger sample size of games than the Ench and the Night Stalker. So, on paper, a lot of good and strong proven heroes on the Na'Vi lineup. The question is it too much of a good thing? Does the lineup really gel well together in the mid game? Because that's where this Tundra lineup completely pops off, right? I just see a very clear red thread, a very clear vision for the Tundra lineup of what they want to do. It's a ton of heroes that are very strong at grouping up around this Tombstone, around this Dragon Knight, this Abaddon. Super tanky heroes that peak in the early mid game and just can look to take towers and force you to respond.
Yeah.
So better be ready on the side of Na'Vi for this.
As we have a pause so we can ponder those thoughts, Cinderman.
Yeah.
We will be seeing the Corrosive Dragon again on the DK. So minus armor for ya. Chicken fingers for Saksa. Whitemon goes for the Rotting Mitts facet.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the other one is. Oh, it's a Soul Rip strength one, right?
I think this is the most common one. We don't see Undying that much. It's the 3rd game of the tournament. I think he's 1 and 2, so it's kind of, you know, whatever. It's too small of a sample size to really conclude much. But yeah, Soul Rip has for a long time not been the preferred spell on this hero in general in Pro Dota. Whether you play it core, for example, off lane, or whether you play it on 5, we generally see people max Decay and Tombstone and maybe get 1 or 2 value points in Soul Rip, but not really make that their preferred way of playing. So Flesh Golem is a spell that if you haven't either played this hero or followed its trajectory over the last couple of years, this spell has got so much better. Like, it might be one of the most buffed ultis in all of Dota in the last 3 years, because like it got the amp, it got the slow, it got the zombie spawning with the facet. There's just like tons of things that makes this way
more. Do you
remember
a time where we used to joke about how bad that ult was?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It got so much better.
Yeah.
It used to be one of the weakest ones, and now it's very strong. So.
Yeah, Tombstone used to feel like his ultimate.
Yep. In a lot of situations, it still does, but now his ulti actually feels like, you know, you reach something sort of powerful. You unlock something powerful. I was curious to see what Na'Vi would do about this fact. Obviously, they're off lane. The duo of Night Stalker and Tide playing into Undying is no fun. Double strength off lane. I thought maybe they would put Ench up there and play the Night Stalker with Gyro, but they are still prioritizing giving Shad the stronger early lane support in the Ench to get him off to a good start in Gyro. I wonder if they're actually going to swap that around, maybe. Like, give him a little bit of a good start with the Ench, and then maybe Ench and Night Stalker can go through the respective gate, or, you know, make some sort of a 3-man gank somewhere and then transition from there. Because this top lane, I think Na'Vi flat out cannot win. I think it's impossible. So
impossible.
That lane is a default loss at this level. Like, how does Night Stalker Tide win against Prophet Undying? It's not happening. So they're trying to get what they can through wave pulling and just causing, like, just breaking the lane. Because if you play it heads up, you just get destroyed. The problem is when you pull here, Whitemon can just fight the Tide and win the 1v1, which a lot of the time when you split the lane in half like this, the offlaner has a good time against the support. But even this one in isolation is tough. Whitemon is tying with Boom on CS in the lane, so yeah, that's a rough one. But aside from that, the other 2 lanes for Na'Vi should be pretty playable. I think the Ember against Dragon Knight it's DK favorite, but you're not going to get absolutely curb stomped. And the bot lane, I think I would maybe give them a bit of an edge with the Ench Gyro here. So,
but tell me a bit about why Night Stalker is so coveted right now, and if getting off to a slow start will have a huge impact. At bottom lane, Saksa with the shackle on
big
Shad.
Damage.
Blood grenade to follow, 33. Well, he actually stopped an attack,
he was
he'll find it
killable
anyway.
there. My God, I did not think they could pull that kill off at level 2, but well,
I think it's the first time we've cast 33 on the other facet as well, by the way. So Aquatic Shield will explode.
Yeah, that's true. He generally has been taking the Mephitic Shroud. So as far as Night Stalker goes, I think the reason he's rated so highly right now is after the change where you get multiple skills, right? So on level 1, you have default Hunter in the Night, and then you can skill Void. So you're much better in lane. And that means level 2, you have the choice of just getting Crippling Fear and being honestly a very strong support up from being, you know, one of the worst. Night Stalker used to have a terrible laning stage. You also start at night if you choose the Night Rain facet, which everybody has done so far, I think. So then you further accelerate your early game.
Yeah, but let's say you get off to a rough start. Like, I would consider this a rough start. He's level 1, 3.5 minutes in. Nighttime ends in 1:15. Then what happens?
Then you get fucked.
Okay.
That's what happens in this top lane. Okay.
Go.
I'll give you my accurate prediction. It's hard to say it's accurate before it happens. I'll give you my best prediction. They are going to suffer up top. Night Stalker, level 1, minute 4. The good news for Tide is Prophet can't really box him out necessarily. There are other offlaners that would suffer more under these conditions, because boom, if he gets 1 or 2 points in Kraken Shield, he can ignore a lot of the damage. As a matter of fact, they're laying into Dyrachyo a little bit now before it's too late, and he could TP out perhaps, but not opting to try it. They want to turn around and fight.
Oh, the Centaur!
Very nice
Very
help
sad
from
for
the camp
Na'Vi.
there.
They had a trickle of hope there as bottom lane, the Enchantress is going to fall as Shad left to his own devices, 1 versus 2. They're going to dive him.
Oh, no.
From afar, Soxa and 33 get another kill in this bot lane. So it's a disaster, top and bottom, and mid lane we can see BZM pressuring and has a pretty significant CS lead as well. So I would venture to say, Cinderin, all 3 lanes have been lost by Na'Vi already.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They haven't only lost them, they're getting stomped. Like all 3 lanes ahead by about 1,000 net worth, minute 5. I don't think I've seen a more one-sided laning stage in the entirety of the tournament, not in the game we've cast anyway.
And it's about to turn day, so it will get worse.
So now Night Stalker will be weak. Your bot lane has gone exceptionally well for Tundra, so Sox actually has the luxury of moving around if he wants to, because I think Abaddon can just float this lane against Ench Gyro now. You reserve your Aphotic Shield. If you get enchanted, you pop Aphotic Shield and run away with Phase Boots. So they can never really kill him now. And then, as you said, the mid lane BZM against the Ember, it looked relatively alright for a little bit, but then BZM really started pulling ahead at level 3 and 4. So
yeah, he's almost doubled his net worth already. Is Whitemon going to be backstabbing here? Dragon Tail from BZM to set things up. Sanctity still only level 5, so no remnants. And that is going to be another kill for Tundra. 5-0. And now BZM with this siege creep can pressure a bit, but he's going to look for that power rune.
I will say it is interesting to see, this is obviously very early days in this game, right? But in this Swiss format, what has happened today, I feel like it's not necessarily characteristic, right? It's like we get to the final day of Swiss, all these teams are 2-2, you'd think, all right, these are going to be close matchups. It's been stomps every game.
Yeah,
there's been like a clearly clearly superior team, and so far this one looks no different. Oh well, it actually does look different than the other games today, because this one might be even more of a stomp than any individual game we've had so far. Na'Vi need to... So here's the problem. They need to figure out a way of coming back in the game through the way of moves. You can't just make a raw lane win anywhere. You can't create that out of thin air now. So the way you come back is with rotation.
They need this Wisdom Shrine.
Yeah, if they don't get this one, oh my...
coming.
They don't have Tombstone, so that's the saving grace here perhaps for Na'Vi.
Stun with BZM. And Shad is going to force them out, and boom comes from the north, so they will be getting the shrine onto Shad, and first kill of the game, finally going Na'Vi's way.
Insta respawn for Whitemon.
I was trying to figure out why you yelped randomly.
That was a huge profit hold.
Oh,
it took like it took 3/4 of Night Stalker's health.
At first I was like, did they steal the Wisdom Shrine? Am I literally not seeing?
I'm surprised you didn't see it. 2/3 of a health bar
I
just
usually
evaporate.
close my eyes in team fights, which would explain a lot. As the dive in the bot lane, Kaori dead again, and 33 off to a monstrous start. No surprise, we'll be opting for the Radiance first item. He's going to get that super quick.
So here's my big concern for Na'Vi is Well, that's a small concern that he just vanishes.
Oh, they're stealing stacks too. Not huge, but
I feel like this Na'Vi lineup does not play well at all from behind. This is a lineup that can accelerate very hard if the lanes go fine. If you have a Night Stalker with a game, if Ember has items or at least levels to play around with, and Ench is making successful gate rotations, there's been none of those three things. So when you're playing from behind against a team that arguably is designed to start crushing your towers and take over the map already now from like minute 10, and your lanes have failed, we need a little bit of a... We need some heroic moves here, is what I'm thinking. You need to wait for nighttime, so Cubify can do more or less anything on Night Stalker, because right now he's a glorified melee creep.
He's gotten in quite a while.
Yeah, it's nice that he can leech that from BZM.
Top lane, gonna have a shackle as Shad in a lot of trouble. Dyrachyo with the right clicks will be more than enough. And he's pretty close to finishing his Maelstrom. And Tundra just running away with this game so far.
Yep, gonna be pushing top straight away now with the Ironwood Treant plus wave coming in. They have 3 heroes here. It's a very natural rotation. BZM is even looking for some trouble behind the tower.
Cubify is having such a hard game. That is rough stuff. This is with, he even got the Wisdom Shrine. He's still level 3.
Yeah. Honestly, the Undying pick was very clever here. And again, I wonder if Na'Vi got a do-over in this game if they would have just swapped their supports around. So that Night Stalker could have maybe done better bottom through ways of pulling, or at the least keeping Shadow Shaman busy. And Gyro could have maybe still farmed, and then top maybe Ench plus Tide would have had a better time than this. But even that doesn't sound that great necessarily, so just a really nice prep here from Tundra in the draft so far has paid off massively, and now it's just about staying ahead.
Yeah, BZM. He's just going to solo Night Stalker, and that's with 2 members of Na'Vi there. They just are so far behind. Feels like Tundra can do pretty much anything on the map right now. Soxa puts down the wards, actually kind of ignoring Gyrocopter for the most part. The Whitemon coming in, gets off his ult as well. Soxa taking a lot of damage to the Rocket Barrage as the Tidehunter Ravage does come out. Soxa will eventually fall, Whitemon as well, so 2 support kills for Na'Vi.
Okay, they get something.
Absolutely.
5v4, they use Ravage. Obviously 33 not involved in this, so he's just farming away at bot, but you gotta take what you can get right now if you're Na'Vi, and at the very least those couple of kills will help out a little bit. Now, it is nighttime, and this is when Cubify would love to, under normal circumstances, really start looking for skirmishes, use his ult to dive towers, but unfortunately you do not have ulti at level 4, so not really
maybe
possible.
Next patch.
Yeah, certain heroes get their ulti earlier, such as Meepo, which might have actually done better in that top lane than Night Stalker in this game.
I mean, he did start with a skill, though. So
yep, that's true.
You get 2
Now, imagine this lane with the old Night Stalker.
Yeah, it would have been even more rough.
Yeah. Even worse.
It feels like he is just leeching off of whatever he can find.
Yeah.
33, not appreciative of this. Yeah, he's got the Sacred Relic
He's being
already.
run down at nighttime.
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
That's rough.
Boom making an appearance now. Doesn't have Ravage though. 33, not too bothered. He's just going to continue to farm away. Whitemon's going to connect here. Still about 1,000 from the Radiant, so another couple minutes away.
They find Kaori. And they will ever so slowly try to bring down the Ench.
Untouchable, pretty good at
actually
this.
Maybe gonna live?
Yep, sucks.
No.
BZM will eventually breathe fire on him. This feels like the longest setup for the eventual Tormentor in 3 minutes. I feel like with quote-unquote forced objectives like that, I feel like Na'Vi needs to be planning ahead, and they have to. I feel like you gotta take a risk somewhere, and Tormentor seems like a decent place to try.
I agree. I think you have to try to get vision down there in time, because you know Tundra are gonna go for it. So if you can play some maybe obscure vision that the obvious sentry won't find, like a little bit off in a corner or on the way into the high ground, so that you see which path they're taking, and then try to set a trap with Tide plus call down. That's probably your best bet. I think if you give up this Tormentor and just keep letting Tundra run the map, you're playing not to lose. That's not really a viable comeback strategy. You're just playing keep away and trying to farm, but at this level, that's just not going to work in a game like this, so 100% agreed. You've got to use the spells that you have. The downside is the Tormentor fight will happen at day, so it's kind of a 4v5. Because NS will not have ulti at level 15.
If you look at the XP per minute, by the way, it's for Night Stalker. Whew. He's 108.
I don't even remember the hotkey to look at that. Oh, it's...
As they're going to find a lowly Rasta here. Stock this XP per minute is going to go way up here in just a moment. Look at that, a 10-point increase with just that kill. Cubify still level 4 though.
That is insane. He has half the experience of the enemy support.
It's crazy. I can't remember the last time I've seen anything like that.
No, me neither. That's actually insane. Yep, definitely worthy of a first pick, wouldn't you say?
It's not looking too good in this game, that's for damn sure.
Boom, gonna be slow to a crawl in a moment if he gets hit, but he's keeping the distance, and they actually fail to connect there. Nice Wrath of Nature, big damage, but yeah. If a single hit went off on Tide there, that would have probably forced out a Ravage or a Death. But Whitemon couldn't quite get there. The Phase Boots saving the day for Boom.
Yeah, Radiance is there for 33, Mjolnir as well for the NP.
Okay, they do get a Wisdom Shrine on the side of Na'Vi, so now Cubify almost level 6, minute 14. Yeah. So he might actually have it in time for the Tormentor. And
yeah, I think he will.
I know I've talked about it a lot, but I actually think this is a pretty big deal, because if he gets Dark Ascension and Flying Movement for this, perhaps you could find an angle where you can silence off the Shaman so he doesn't get to play the fight very well, or you can go on the Undying so he doesn't drop Tombstone, like whatever it is. If you can find some sort of impact that allows Tide, Ember, as well as Gyro to get all their spells off in good succession, perhaps there is a way to get that fight going, but first you gotta avoid disaster down bot.
He's gonna get gone on for now, but this is just a bit of posturing from Tundra's 33 with that Radiance. Very, very confident. Zoxa will place the wards onto Boom. Not able to trap him completely though. And there's the Night Stalker coming from the north now as the Ravage comes out from Boom. Gets up a nice anchor smash onto 2 as Dyrachyo has to be careful. That call down's gonna finish him off. A huge kill for Na'Vi. As 33, 1 versus 4. They can't quite kill him. It's gonna be close. Gets out of the shield. Nope,
right,
he does go down to the Impetus eventually. So 2 big core kills. And guess what? They only lost the Night Stalker that literally just hit level 6 a minute ago.
This was a very good result for Na'Vi, and it comes down a lot to the way this fight breaks out. Tundra kind of force it and use a lot of spells on the frontline Tide that they can't really kill anyway. So they use Serpent Wards, they use Shaman's Kit, and he just phase boots and runs out of the wards, turns around and gets the counterplay. And this is the first fight of the game that Na'Vi actually get to activate their lineup and get something done, and that worked out great for them. So
yeah, felt like overconfidence from Tundra.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
if they were more coordinated on that opener, if they had all their heroes together and they got a coordinated jump with Dragon Knight starting together with Tombstone and Prophet TPing in, I think that fight would have looked a lot cleaner, but they kind of forced it a little bit. And as a result, they also haven't taken the Tormentor yet. That is obviously up top this time because of Night Stalker's Night Rain facet. But they're not taking it yet, so that's good news for Na'Vi. They get a little bit of breathing room.
38% chance for Na'Vi. Would you agree with that? That fight.
Yeah, that's probably kind of accurate, honestly. I think that last fight was really big. Like, before that, I would have given them maybe a quarter, but it's a big swing.
Uh-oh.
For sure.
Initiation onto Shad. Doesn't have any reinforcements here. Sprout's going to be really annoying. It's Dyrachyo with the zombies. Not quite going to finish the job. They will run away as the fortification was popped, but this is into a Tombstone. As Boom will try to secure that for himself.
Tundra lost a lot of resources there as well, though. And a Tomb, 200 gold for Boom. He's going to be happy with that. And interesting to see Boom here. Oh, that's a dead Ember. Oh. Wait, how did that happen? Okay. Oh, he got caught in the river going there. I see. Got caught by Shaman plus DK. It's not a free Ember game by any means. If you get caught by the Dragon Tail or Hex of Shaman, you can be in massive trouble, so got to be careful. But yeah, once again, at the very least, for the side of Na'Vi, things have somewhat stabilized in a game that could have got completely out of control. Nice juke jive from Kaori. Get away.
Yeah, this is looking, I mean, it was... I was slightly depressed for Na'Vi.
I mean, they're down less gold than they were minute 7, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It's comparable amounts at least. So Tundra haven't really, with an absolute obliteration of the laning stage, they have not managed to gain further advantage, which is very unusual, to be fair, for this team. Now, finally, they will get the Tormentor. That will make things look a little bit healthier for their side. But yeah, overall, I'll be completely honest with you. I thought this game would be close to over now.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, that they would be looking at maybe almost losing racks.
The games that we've cast from Tundra, like versus even just the last tournament, they've looked a lot sloppier and not quite as disciplined as we've seen them in recent tournaments. So I would maybe chalk that up to the same thing here.
Yeah, probably not in top form, right? The fact that they're here in the 2-2 scoreline of the Swiss, based on recent tournament power level, should have been a 3-0 or 3-1 finish, right? In the Swiss for them. So clearly not running on full cylinders here, but still a game that is still theirs to control at this point in time. It's by no means should you be too worried for them right now, but it's good news for Na'Vi that it seems like they are in a position where they can, through great play, equalize this game entirely. So that was not what I had on my bingo card after the first 7 minutes.
Nope.
I thought they were going to be run over, honestly. So that's a good look. That's a good sign. And we talked about the win rates of some of these heroes. We talked about the comfort levels for Navi's players. So as long as they are feeling themselves and are believing in the moves, they can definitely get it done. I'm curious to see when they're going to make their, speaking of moves, when they're going to make one themselves here. They have everything available. They have Dark Ascension. It's becoming natural nighttime very soon. Tide is receiving his Shiva's Guard now, so a very strong item to get in your arsenal at this point. Gyro has the Aghanims.
He's getting chased.
It's not an easy kill.
Stun Dyrachyo from the other side. The TP out is not going to happen. But yeah, Boom was considering the Blink Dagger or the finished Shivas because he had most of it completed. So Shiva's recipe is absurdly expensive now. Soxa find an Ember Spear, but the Crippling Fear looks like it'll be a sacrifice to save his ally.
Yeah, Ember better get out of there now then. Oh, here comes Rosh.
Roshan.
Oh man, he needs longer arms.
Soxa, run into him. Courier, run into him.
They should just pick the curry out of the air and eat it.
Yeah, chew on that shit.
Honestly, they should add that. Just have him grab it and eat it.
And when he eats a courier, he gets bigger.
He gets empowered.
That could be a strategy for the enemy that can't kill Roche. They can feed him.
When he eats a courier, he poops in the river, and then it becomes infected.
All right.
And then when you're in the river, you take damage over time. What do you think?
That's my kind of idea right there.
I'm just ahead of the curve. I mean, with the stuff that's happened to Dota in the last 5 years, that's not out of the realm of possibility, I think.
Agreed.
Things that sounded absurd 3 years ago are just, oh, that's just another line in the patch now. So, you know. Wisdoms looks to be double Tundra here. Dyrachyo teleported to the left side to grab this, so nice little experience snack, and Soxa will run over to the other one and get his level 12. For comparison, Night Stalker is level 7. Those are the two position 4s I'm comparing, by the way, so slight lead there for Soxa by about 150%.
If will ult, get some nice vision, BZM, blinks, then Dragon forms. We'll be able to get out.
Gets the bonus movement speed from that Dragon form, so using it as an escape tool. Rather unconventional, but might have felt like it was necessary there. There are a few things in Dota that are more terrifying than when you hear Dark Ascension. Just like, okay.
Not this game.
Well, even then, this is why it's a first pick, Shannon. The level 7 Night Stalker with nothing could still scare away the enemy Dragon Knight and make him ult defensively.
It's just PTSD.
It's
muscle memory.
You just hear that Dark Ascension, you're like, oh.
Crippling Fear. He saw that 33 was in the area. He's going to continue to chase, though. He ain't scared. He's got a gem as well. As Cubify is all alone. No way to cancel the TP, though, so we'll be able to get out.
I love this early gem on 33.
Soxa,
really nice.
though. He gone on by Boom, but Dyrachyo making his way over. Ravage only hitting Dyrachyo. And Searing Chains only hitting one, as I don't think anyone's actually going to be dying here. Well, Cubify, if he stays a little longer, he might be.
I think Tundra can just Rosh.
Yeah, Ravage being down. Definitely have that as an option.
I would say that's the pretty straightforward play call here. Go to Rosh, drop mass Serpent Wards, tank it with use Tombstone if you want, use Flesh Golem, just take that down. You can also take bottom tier 2 first, but it's like, it has 150 HP. You're going to get it eventually. Yeah, we're seeing the replay here, so really nicely timed 4-step here from Dyrachyo. Just clutch. Super clutch because that was from another player. It's way easier to do on yourself than on a teammate in that situation. But the foresight from Dyrachyo, excellent. Getting that pike out on Shaman. There goes the tower.
Yep.
Maybe they go high ground. I don't know. I mean, that's also a possible play. I think the safer play is to take Rosh, but if you think the enemy team can't fight you at all without Ravage, you might just be right.
Yeah, we'll see if their overconfidence bites them again. Shiva's from Boom, showing his prowess here.
Oh, it's really good impetus damage.
Serpent Wards placed, and Kaori's going to try to take care of those.
Meanwhile, BZM is fighting in mid in a 1v2 against Ember and Night Stalker. I don't know, man. This
snakes were kind of wasted here.
This just seems unnecessarily complicated from Tundra, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go for that push, bring the 5 heroes. If you don't really want to do it, then do the Rosh, right? Now they did neither. It's kind of feels like a little bit of a half and half situation.
Stun up on Sanctify, but sucks at not quite in range to get the perma stun. All right. Well, now do they go Rosh? Is it too late?
Well, now Dragon Form's running out and you don't have the Serpent Wards.
Ravage in 40 seconds.
Yeah, Ravage is becoming a threat again. So now I don't know. I feel like Tundra kind of just missed a moment of opportunity there. Fortunately, they're still in a great position in the game, so there's space for these kind of... I don't know if you want to call it a mistake, because they still forced a big response from Na'Vi. They got half the tower, and if they can control the map continuously, it doesn't really matter that much, but I feel like there was a better way of doing what they just did.
Yeah.
Can't help but feel that way. But
yep, agreed.
Still, Prophet BKB now complete as well, so BKB on him as well as Dragon Knight is a very, very strong timing for the Tundra lineup. Can largely ignore the Ravage, the Shiva, a lot of Gyro and Ember's damage and control. So this upcoming fight for Na'Vi should be hella hard.
Hella?
Hella hard.
Wow. Shad right now, which is the Gyro carry for Na'Vi. Has the Ags, BKB, Dragonlance, but...
Yeah, no damage item.
Yeah, he needs to get some damage. He'll be going Crystallis, but it looks like he might be finishing the Hurricane Pike before upgrading that.
I do think the damage will be the more valuable pickup here. Because this is the... If you look at Na'Vi's lineup and how it functions in teamfights, it has a lot of spread damage, right? You have Slight, you have Flak Cannon, you've got Ravage, Shiva, Anchor Smash. It's a lot of decent-ish damage on multiple targets over time, but no burst with the exception of Enchantress Impetus on single target with Pike. So realistically speaking, there's a decent chance that Tundra can kind of kite you out until Gyro hits hard enough that the fight's... That it's possible to kill heroes in Ravage, I guess.
Well, Tundra right now going for Rosh.
Yep.
Blink is delivered to Boom, so they could have, perhaps, contested this, but it's not going to happen. And Dyrachyo, no surprise, will be taking the Aegis, as he's going for the flavor of the month item, the brooch.
Yep.
And boom. Okay, they find Whitemon. He's going to put down the Tombstone to dissuade any further aggression. Dragon Tail actually finds Sanctified, and Ravage goes off. It's going to hit 3 heroes. Thunder's going to pop the ult in order to get away. BZM with his BKB trying to retreat, but he is taking a lot of damage from this impetus, as the Aphotic Shield will not be enough to save his life. So they're going to lose the DK and the Abbey. 2 cores dead. Aegis still intact for Tundra, but a good pounce there from Na'Vi.
That was a very, very cool play call from Boom to go for that. I did not see that moment of opportunity as anything rather appealing, but he just went for it. He saw the Blink Ravage play, he thought they could get a lot out of it, and boy was he right. That's huge. They get three kills, 2 of them big cores, and a lot of golden experience as a reward for that. 6k XP in that fight alone. That's like 4 Night Stalkers. Oh boy,
Crippling Fear preventing the shackle near the wards, but the Night Stalker still falls as Sanctity, he gets sheeped inside of the Sprout, gets off a sleight of fist, doing a lot of damage, able to remnant away as Dyrachyo. Remember, he still has that Aegis. Boom is going to go down. He's going to get a support on the trade, though, as Saksa will die as well. Dyrachyo, Impetus, destroys him, and that is life number 1. Is there any follow-up here for Na'Vi? No, they're going to let him go as BZM makes his way over, but still.
Tundra were 13k up 1 minute ago.
Yeah, this has been good.
It's a 6k swing. It's a gem steal that they got out of this as well now. So Whitemon's gem now sitting on Kaori. That's another big gold swing. Yeah, all right. Just again, I feel like this game has now had 2 situations where it felt like, all right, when is Tundra just going to get the job done? And both times, Na'Vi find a way out of trouble.
Cubify, he gets the Shrine of Wisdom, will die for his efforts. I think he'll take that.
Easily worth it.
I think he'll You know what he needs, other than just gold in general, is a shard. Being able to eat the Nature's Prophet Treant would be pretty damn good this game.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, the shard in general is good on the hero, but
yeah.
I know that you're probably going to prioritize other stuff in this case.
That's right. Imagine when Dyrachyo hits 25 and he starts having that base push threat.
Yeah.
The big treants. Just, you're positive you can eat these? I think you should be able to.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You can eat ancient creeps at night.
Yeah.
As BZM is going to be the recipient of the next shard, so has Fireball. They have Grab Ally, by the way. Haven't seen that quite yet.
What do you call this type of treant? What are they called? Is it
the Pine Cone one? I have to look at it again. Saksa gets the double hex, Fireball.
That's a very
enough.
easy kill.
Yeah, I think it's a...
Something is telling me like a Tiki Warrior. Is that what they're called?
Is it like a coconut, maybe?
Oh, like it's based off the like this, not the model itself, what it is, but like the war paint that it has and the weapon and shield that it has. Isn't it called like a Tiki Warrior?
Yeah.
It reminds me of something.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. I like these treants a lot.
It reminds me of Wilson.
They're much better than the tomato.
You won't understand that reference at all.
No, it's probably from a movie, in which case I haven't watched it.
Cast Away.
Yeah, okay. Uh-oh. Cubify. He just respawned.
Good crippling fear, but they're out of range.
Back to the grave. Damn, this game is just a sine curve. Like,
back to 14K.
It's all right, Na'Vi are screwed in lanes. Oh, nice, they made a comeback. Oh, they're screwed in mid-game. Oh, nice, they took a great team fight. And then immediately they're like... It's like they have these moments, the glimpses of hope, last a minute each.
I don't even understand. How has it gone up 7K in the last few minutes? Hasn't been that many kills.
They took the Tormentor again.
Yeah, the Tormentor's
a couple kills. They recovered their gem by killing Kaori.
The gem, yeah.
And now they took a tower. Yeah, that'll probably account for it, right? Or did they recover that? Yeah, they did recover the gem. Man. This is one of the stranger games we've cast, in my opinion, even though it's like... There's nothing like super weird about itemization or about the strategies or anything. It's just the flow of this game feels a little bit odd, but ultimately it is still progressing toward the expected outcome based on the laning stage in a Tundra victory. But, well, if history of the last 20 minutes is anything to go by, they're about to lose a team fight here.
That's right. So, Na'Vi are due to win a fight now.
Yeah, it's coming up.
They smoked.
It begs the question, if Tundra somehow win a team fight, what happens then? That might be the real immovable object.
Shad has the Daedalus, by the way, so opted to finish it off. So he does pack a punch now.
Well, Whitemon looking for a flank with Tombstone here, potentially. They seem to have a very good idea of exactly what Na'Vi are doing, Tundra do. So they're not going to get caught. Saksa trying to set a trap in bottom lane, waiting for anyone to show, and then they can teleport in the Prophet, and looks like they ran out of patience. So Dyrachyo just wants to go down and push the lane.
It's one of the few games we've seen a Tidehunter at this stage of the game not have Shard. There's not really that much mobility on the Tundra side, but isn't it just always good?
It's always good, but it's not always the best. I think this is one of the few games where I actually kind of like him not buying it.
Oh, cute. Oh my god!
Yeah, that's...
Dyrachyo, will he be able to live through this? No. No. As Whitemon coming to play as well, will pop the Ghost Scepter. So another great sacrifice from the Night Stalker. As Whitemon eventually chopped down to the grave. So 2 for 1 in Na'Vi's favor. So here's the the fight that we were expecting from them.
As expected, big lead for Tundra, and then by some random fashion, Na'Vi just get a couple of nice kills there. Nice pickoffs.
Just desperately trying to hex him with his auto attack, but he cannot do it thanks to the untouchable.
Yeah.
There is a silver edge now for Dyrachyo, so being able to break the tide. I mean,
and
that's the thing. You have to find the it's just a support in that case.
Well, you say that. Kaori is he's more of a core than.
Oh my God, he has Hurricane
for Night Stalker at least.
And Witchblade already. Okay.
He's worth killing.
Yeah.
He is one of the heroes that can actually take down the Dragon Knight.
Take it back.
When BKB is down.
Take it back.
This is the territory that Ench quite frequently gets to. It's not been very favored this tournament so far. Very few games has Ench been picked or banned, but when it has been picked, it has won.
And there you see the Aghanim Scepter from Boom, so prioritizing that over anything else.
Yep.
Not
I kind of like it.
One.
AoE Gush for the Gyro and Ember to deal more AoE damage. Sounds pretty good to me. But yeah, the break is a potential big issue now.
He did not go for either of the Gush talents at 10 and 15. We'll see if he goes for the 20 or not.
Yeah, if he doesn't take Gush minus armor, I don't understand the purchase whatsoever. Like, it's okay not to get the Gush slow, and at 15 you might not have decided that you wanted to go this path. It kind of does suck not having a Gush damage talent when you are going Ags, but at the very least, if you get the minus armor, that's the bigger one.
Okay, they have the break, remember. They're going to try this out. Fireball upon him. He's dead.
They have two breaks.
Shiva's 70 seconds of no boom.
Yep.
This is a big window open
their
now.
moment.
Cuba fight. If you sacrifice yourself, you'll win this fight. Don't forget how this has worked so far. 33. His ult is going to go off. Going to heal a decent amount. Tundra still... I mean, I guess they don't know that there's no buyback, of course, so...
Did you mention the Shaman level 15 talent so far?
The 15 talent? No.
Yeah, because they've had that for a little bit now. They have a second break.
I didn't realize it was at 15. I thought it was a 20 talent.
Yeah, I would argue it should be a 20 talent.
I think it used to be,
it's an insane 15 talent. It might have been in the past, yeah.
Now, that works on the auto attack as well, I assume.
I would think so, yeah. So effectively, just whenever Shaman opens the fight on Tide, you have this guaranteed 2.9 second hex duration where it's just a flat out break.
Cubify. He's very scared. Dyrachyo pops the BKB and he gets the Shrine of Wisdom and he's just going to walk away, it seems, but he didn't have to use his BKB as the impetus just ripping through BZM. Will live through the day. Shad, in the meantime, his BKB is already over as the Undying Tombstone eventually will be placed as Whitemon pops right out of it. He grabbed himself in that case. Whitemon will be able to get a huge ravage onto everybody. They take out only one so far, though, on the side of Na'Vi. Dyrachyo holding his ground, but that's the AoE Gush coming into effect. 33 with the Aphotic Shield. Na'Vi trying to run them over, and Dyrachyo will be run over exactly with triple kill onto Shad. Whatever the fuck that means. That is not proper English.
That's okay.
Just a slight aneurysm.
We don't expect a lot.
Searing Chains, just a play-by-play, no big deal.
Oh.
BZM, they're still standing their ground on the high ground here.
Here comes Night Stalker.
Fireball being played.
He's big and bad and dangerous.
Yeah, they're still holding their ground as 33. He's the one that's going to drop. Yeah, I mean, Shad doing so much damage now. So 3 dead for Tundra, and it's going to be a 4th here. As Whitemon will tumble as well.
And
Na'Vi,
there it is.
I don't understand this game at all.
Another teamfight win as we all expected for Na'Vi after killing the Tide.
What is this?
Tundra get counterplayed in a big way. If they get this Roshan, honestly, are we starting to entertain the idea that Na'Vi are not necessarily in the lead, but kind of getting there? Like, this 12k lead is starting to feel relatively insignificant to me. Shad in this fight, as well as Kaori, doing tons of damage, and I love that Shad bought Daedalus instead of Revenant's Brooch. I think he needed this big damage, and he's got it now. That's an Aegis 2, only 10k down, a beautiful Ravage 5-man from Boom. Aptly named.
That is a perma-stun on the Sanctity.
Yeah, makes sense. Now, Na'Vi just had a good fight and got the Roche, so now they're going to need to start dying a little bit around the map to
equalize.
Yeah, gotta stick. I'll say, in a way, this game has been very consistent with itself. This point's kind of becoming predictable.
The way that this game is going is Fiori, he's going to get broken.
Got another kill here.
Tundra will lose this game with a 20k lead. That's my prediction.
That is a very possible outcome at this point. Big item alert. Cubify on Night Stalker has picked up a Ghost Scepter. So he can hide away as this big, scary dude that flies through. Just gonna go for the silence and try to stay alive. Tundra?
Yeah, now he's
threatening high ground here. They do not have the Aegis. That's on the other team. And Ravage is online.
Tundra hasn't cared about that once this game.
This is not that easy, I think.
That's a tower.
Oh, well, get that.
That's no longer a tower.
They seem to feel very confident just because Ember is dead, but got to be a little bit careful not to overextend now. Satanic is available.
Off, Dragon Tail to follow. They have the damage. That's life number 1.
What?
Nobody's going in from
Why was
Na'Vi.
Tide mid?
All right, well, the Aegis just given up for free, essentially.
So Tide was, okay, I get it. Tide was trying to box out the Abaddon, but didn't succeed. And in the meantime, they died on the gyro top. So really big sequence there for Tundra.
All right, well, there's no range racks in the bot lane either, as well as the top, and mid lane completely gone. So it's
these
just
Ironwood Treants are getting put to good use.
Is this, oh, it is the 25 talent.
Yeah, okay, I understand it a lot better now why they're so stressed out, because Dyrachyo's Treant was pushing mid together with Abaddon, so somebody kind of had to take care of that, and then
it's actually just going to die. He doesn't have Shard. Okay, Fortification is forced.
Ooh,
and
that is an
rough.
expensive glyph.
Yeah.
But Boom finds Whitemon, so time for a win for a team fight for Na'Vi.
All right, Sanctity and Boom going to team up to take out Whitemon. They get him easily, but it's going to be at the cost of their base because bottom lane, not quite dead, as Dyrachyo will BKB to ensure it. He might die for his efforts, attempting to TP out. Not to be this time, but still. There's only one building left, Cinderin.
Yep.
Only a matter of time.
Honestly, that was kind of cool foresight there from Kaori. He was camping down there on Ench, waiting for Prophet to TP in and spawn a Treant, then he instantly took it with Enchant, and then Prophet killed him in 4 attacks.
Cubify runs into Soxa, and of course that means Cubify will die.
Yep. Got off the Ghost Scepter though.
Coming in though, gets the Searing Chains off with the Gush to follow. Boom. Shivas is only going to hit Soxa, who just Ghost Scepter TPs, but the Yules to cancel, so they'll get something out of it. Serpent Wards plays, okay. Soxa ends up dying here. What is going on this guy? Like, why would he Serpent Ward? I don't understand what I'm watching.
My threshold for what is surprising me has been lowered significantly in this game.
Yeah, it's desensitized you.
Yeah. At this point, I'm like, that's normal. That made sense.
Okay, well.
When all is said and done, there's only 1 melee Rex left. So I think Tundra in a very, obviously, without a doubt, in a very strong position here if we want to get back to reality. But the challenge now.
Going for Dagon?
The challenge for Na'Vi is actually not necessarily so much to deal with the Ironwood Treants as much as it is to push out all the lanes all the time. Because the wave clear of their support duo is kind of mediocre, right? Or rather, it's weak. Night Stalker's terrible, and Ench is okay. It would help her quite a lot to get her Shard, I think, for that Sproink. I'm a little bit surprised Kaori with this good of a game hasn't bought it.
I mean, the thing is, without Fortification, Dyrachyo can just TP in and kill the Raxodon, even through backdoor.
That's what I'm saying. Backdoor, probably not, but
really?
they
melee
have
Rax
to
is at half HP.
I don't think he could get it.
Really?
Through backdoor, yeah, I don't think so. But I mean, they need to keep the waves outside of the backdoor protection range at all times. If he gets one moment of opportunity, he can mega them. He can TP in, spawn a Treant, pop BKB, and get the Rax.
Yeah.
And either Ench needs to be there immediately to stop him and take over the Treant at the very least, but then he's probably still going to kill it with a tech, so they also need a stun. And they don't have any BKB piercing stuns of the kind right now, so yeah, it's very scary. They'll get the Tormentor, and that will be a Shard for 33. Not the biggest one, but
I think Cubify is getting his Shard.
Dyrachyo's going to work here. Oh my god, they're immediately just spam TPing, but they're not going to find him.
Well, he's taking their shrine.
Now they are,
he
because he took the shrine.
Very greedy.
No
He's
detection.
actually going to get away with it, too. Man alive.
All right, that worked out.
All right, Night Stalker can now eat the Treant, Cinderin. Well, not now because it's on cooldown, but
Well,
he's going to get spotted.
also hard to eat it if you're dead.
Ghost Scepter keep him alive, but he's inside that Sprout. Fireball down as BZM pops him like a pinata, except the pinata has no candy because it's been ravaged over and over again in this game. All the kids have taken the candy. It's just worthless. What's a worthless candy bar in Denmark? Name something that it drops now. Like it's not even, you wouldn't even pick it up off the ground if you saw it. Hershey's?
We don't have that.
Okay.
We have good
You don't
candy.
have Hershey's in Denmark. There's no way that's true.
I don't think I've ever seen that in Denmark.
Are you kidding? That's not possible. Come on.
Ah, classic American ignorance. You think your stuff is everywhere.
No, it's not.
The world is bigger than you think, Shannon.
All right.
There's something on the other side of the
I
ocean.
guarantee you have Hershey's.
I do not think I've seen a Hershey's bar.
It doesn't have to be a bar. It could be Kisses.
Well, I haven't seen Hershey's Kisses either, whatever those are.
Okay.
Sounds delicious, though.
They are.
Do like a good kiss.
Look at this. Divine Rapier. It's a long ways off, but Shad wants to.
Yeah,
go
I mean
for
you're
it.
there,
Can't
right?
blame him.
This is the state of affairs. You gotta go for the YOLO here. Would love to see some more daring pickups. Ench finishing the Parasma. She has a ton of damage, but yeah. This is gonna come down to some spectacular team fight. I think I would be absolutely shocked if Na'Vi don't get Mega'd. So they need to be able to win against Megas. They might as well prepare for it.
They have fortification now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this will be a hard defense. I mean, maybe that's what the Agony Scepter on Tide was for. He knew that the high ground defense needed to come. So it is very good for that.
But he didn't know it early enough to take the gush damage talent.
Yes, that's
right.
true.
He realized it
Stupid.
halfway through the game.
Damn Treants.
Yeah.
Look at Sanctity. He just gives.
Oh. All right, this could just be
my
the.
buildings. Boom, jumps in, gets the Ravage. It hits 3. That is the death of BZM already. He does have buyback and didn't pop his ult either, so he could get back into this fight. Oh, this is a bigger kill though. Dyrachyo has to pop his BKB, tries to Shadow Blade away, and they don't have vision, so he will be able to get away successfully. There's the dead in the water on Dime. You can see top lane, the Nature's Prophet TPing in. And now, that is backdoor protected, so.
All right, don't click it. How
What?
much health do you think the Treant has when Ench takes it?
When Ench takes it, I'm gonna say 950.
5,100.
No, what? What? How much HP does it have normally?
How much bonus is it she gets
My
from it?
God.
She gets an additional 450.
That's it?
Yeah. It has 4,650 normally, Shannon.
So 4,000.
So your perspective of why Ironwood Treants are tanky was, I think they have 500 health, is what you effectively just said. That's a self-report.
Whatever. I didn't give it a lot of thought, all right? Much like a lot of things you asked me.
I love that you thought it had 900. Dude, I can't.
5,000. That is so stupid. That's more than every hero in this game.
950. You were like, oh, let me come with a bold prediction. It sounds like it's a big number.
That is a big number. We have a smoke from Tundra here. This game is delivering somehow after that absolutely abysmal start for Na'Vi. And they have Roshan's banner. Wait, how do they have Roshan's banner? Was that from the... It's been so long. When did they get Rosh?
Yeah, they've had that. It's been a while.
I thought the Rosh that they got was the first one, though. Am I crazy? I'm obviously not.
I couldn't tell you.
Sanctity gonna show on the bot lane.
Zips back top immediately. Tundra waiting for Rosh. It is alive, and they have scouted it. They will go for it now. So, building up another big advantage here to go with their other big advantages. And plan to hit the high ground now with everything.
That block of cheese, Cinderin.
Yeah. They could.
What do you think about... So the issue with cheese in late game scenarios, you just don't have room for any inventory to pop it, right? And this block of cheese is not something... I mean, I feel like maybe it... The way it's been being... Okay, there's the Divine. That's a storyline. The way it's being used is people still leave it in their inventory to try to pop it. I feel like they never get it off. Why not just pop it, get the barrier, put your item in, and get ready to go? It's 5 minutes of the barrier. It's better than nothing.
That's true. If you're going to end up not using it otherwise, then yeah, but it is obviously a massive efficiency loss to not get the cheese pop bonus off. But with that in mind, then you should put it on a hero like, let's say you put it on Abaddon or Shadow Shaman. If you have it on Shaman, when he procs foul play, he can use items.
Yeah, there you go.
So the Shard Shaman should have a block of cheese. That's actually really strong.
But then he gets the barrier, and maybe you want that on a core.
I mean, you want it to go off and get a full heal, right? It's crazy to full heal your support.
He's spotted. Cubify pops the ult. There's the anchor onto Undying, as Serpent Ward is just placed haphazardly by Soxa. 33 taking a lot of damage with that call down. His BKB is off. Finally, the borrowed time goes off as well, as Cubify is going to use Ogre Steel Totem trying to get away. Divine Rapier on the deck, ladies and gentlemen. 3 dead for Na'Vi, and 33 picks it up in style.
That actually looked kind of promising, but Shad never BKB'd Shannon.
Are you kidding?
He did not BKB. He got stunned, stunned, and died.
And a Ravage finally goes off. He still had that, apparently. That is just unforgivable. I will not forgive you for your transgressions. Nightstalker dead. Dyrachyo, he's going to be the focus right now for Na'Vi. They will get him. He can buy back, though, of course, and TP in at his leisure. As the gushes continue to come off, Sox has to use the Ghost Scepter to try to get away. I mean, Tundra are pretty low here, but the Mega Creeps are going to be coming very shortly.
Dyrachyo hits hard.
Nice shackle from Soxa, as 33 just hitting the buildings with that Divine Sanctity, trying to snipe that out. But the blink into the Abyssal from 33 doing a lot of damage. Even that Miscoil Shard doing quite a bit because it applies that auto attack. And they're going to finally call the GGs. This game looked to be an absolute stomp at the beginning. It looked to be a snooze fest. It was something else, and I'm not sure what that is exactly.
Yeah, I would love to see a camera shot of the Tundra players right now. I think I just saw 33. He was like kind of laughing a little bit.
We're heading over to Sunspan and Cinnamon.
Thank you, Shiva. Game 2. Tundra and Na'Vi. Last game was, it was something else. Something to remember, something to forget. Somewhere in there, Cinderin, depending on your perspective.
More along that spectrum, yeah.
I kind of like I mean, I can't say that I've ever seen a game quite like that, but I like the... If there's 2 tier 1 teams, just hypothetically, and nobody's making mistakes, it's actually kind of boring. Mistakes are what make things entertaining in Dota.
Yeah.
We should celebrate them.
It's a game of mistakes. It's always been that. Sometimes the mistakes happen in the draft, sometimes they happen during the game. Sometimes they happen when you build your team.
Yep, those usually don't end very well.
That is not targeting either of these teams, by the way. I just want to make that very clear that was not throwing shade at anybody in this server.
Sure, Cinderin.
Sometimes the mistake is who you're casting with.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
That's unfortunate. So, yeah, I kind of agree with the panel here. I think Tundra's lineup looks extremely stable and strong for what we've seen successful teams run in this tournament so far. Na'Vi, I will say, though, I really like that they're bringing out something slightly different in these games, right? So, in the previous game, their hero combination was rather uncharacteristic, but they made the teamfights look quite good. And now this time around, the teamfight is, in theory, also quite solid. When you have the Fatal Bonds plus Flak Cannon and all of the AoE damage of Alina, you throw in the Sleight of Fist as well into the mix. And if you do bind many heroes together, you can do tons of damage. You are, however, playing against at least one Dispel in the Abaddon. He can remove the Fatal Bonds from himself with a Photic Shield. And I guess it's also theoretically maybe difficult to find a lot of Fatal Bond targets when the enemy heroes are that mobile. One of them is Phoenix, can remove it with the Egg. Monkey King will generally be playing flanks from the tree line. So, and Magnus will maybe be fishing a bit. But if last game is anything to go by, Tundra will outshine Na'Vi in the lanes, but then Na'Vi will try to fight their way back. Let's see if that's the same story this time. I refuse to believe Na'Vi will lose the top lane, though. That one plays itself. The Gyro Warlock is incredibly powerful. You either start... You might even kill
Neutrals! Neutrals, he wants to die to them. They will not oblige. And yeah, I guess it's a split bounty this time around.
The way the Warlock gyro lane usually plays is that you skill Flak Cannon and you skill Fatal Bonds, and then you just push out the wave. And then you pull big camp or small camp, so the enemy team has to block both camps if they don't want to let you pull. And if you come and contest the pull, you get Flak Cannon and Fatal Bonded out there. But because it's a Baden, it looks like Na'Vi took the different approach here of going for the Shadow Word plus homing missile combo and trying to kill Sox as he was trying to pull the wave, and they were successful. Maybe not anticipating that this was going to be their approach. However, despite the death, there will be a ton of experience coming Tundra's way here as the wave reaches the tower. But there's that combination of the Fatal Bonds and, well, unskilled Flak Cannon for the time being. He is not even choosing to put points into it now, which is a little bit interesting. But yeah, that lane should be good for the side of Na'Vi. The mid lane, Lina against Monkey King, should be Lina favored as well. So that's two lanes that they should be happy about. And then finally the Ember Bounty Hunter lane, as the panel talked about, that one's just going to be tough to win, right? But if you do well in the other two...
Yeah, Whitemon, that is a lot of damage from the Fire Spirits.
He'll trade out.
He's going to get traded eventually, but nice kill.
Got killed by the Blood Grenade.
All right, what do you think of... I know that part of it had to do with the draft, and maybe it wasn't the exact thing that they wanted, but Ember offlane, we've seen it a couple times. A lot of times it feels forced. What are your thoughts on this hero in the offlane overall?
I think it's just a solid hero as long as it can lane. And the Magnus lane is one of the... It's not great, obviously, but it's also not absolutely terrible. You're not playing in something like an Ursa or Monkey King that, you know, they put it offlane specifically to avoid that Monkey King matchup. So...
Well, the fight over the Lotuses, uh-oh. Shad out of position. You said he can't die, Cinderin, but he's going to.
That's not what I said.
You said it. You promised us.
I said I refuse to believe Na'Vi lose this lane.
Well, what
he's
about
still
now?
ahead, but dying there is definitely not the expected outcome. But that's what can happen when the lane gets pulled off to the side. When you go for the Lotuses instead of just playing the push-pull with Flak Cannon, you can, of course, be left open and vulnerable on the left side. And yeah, Tundra do find a kill on Gyro. I would not have expected that. That's a big advantage for 33. He's a full level ahead of Gyro now. So this could snowball the top lane into a victory for Tundra, which would be a very healthy outlook for this game for them.
That's another instance of these new Lotus pools coming into effect where you have to fight over it. I love. Absolutely one of the best changes of this last patch.
But that's the thing about this top lane, though, is you don't have to fight for it. You can accept that you don't get that, and then you can get everything else. You can just Flak Cannon and Fatal Bonds push the wave and then play pull, and then if Tundra do get a Lotus, so be it, you know? You're farming a ton, you're getting all the pulls off, etc. But instead, fighting out there might not have been the right idea, because that's something Warlock is not particularly good at. He's not great at the Lotus fight, because sure, you've got Shadow Word, but it takes a long time to, you know, deal out its damage or its heal, and Lotus fights are a lot more about, you know, who's stronger in a short span of time. And, well, Shaman and Abaddon can do a ton of damage very quickly, as they did there.
Yep, socks up. I mean, if they get another kill here, it's going to be very dirty. And we can see Whitemon making his rotation, so they're going to try just that. Fire Spirits onto Shad. TP in the form of Cubify is here. They're going to have to shackle the Warlock instead. And a lot of damage from the Rocket Barrage, but it is shared as 33 and company. They're going to just chase down Cubify instead. And this Aphotic Shield, not even needed for the burst. And we should mention that it is, again, he's going for the same facet on 33 as Shat. I did not realize he was still there. It's a 2 versus 1 under the tier 1 as there's a Monkey King bug. Is this the when he's a tree you can't click him or something? I forget what the bug is.
I don't know. He's not a tree for me. He's a Monkey King.
Yeah,
so
I like it.
Yeah, well, the way they said it, they made it sound like this is the most obvious thing ever and everybody knows what the bug is. I don't know what the bug is.
You want to chat GPT it?
What is the current bug with Monkey King?
You never know.
Well, that would be funny if it worked.
So what the horse happens in the top lane? Is Shad dead?
Yeah, I think so.
That's an Aphotic Shield that's going to explode at some point.
It's not a Mephitic Shroud, though, so it has to explode fully.
Yeah.
to deal its damage. But the problem for Gyro is if he uses Rocket Barrage, he will break it. So he can't fight back like that, and then otherwise the tower will just break it here.
Yeah, he's mega dead. So second death already for Shad in this lane that you said is unlosable.
Okay.
Cinderin, quoted 2025.
In a vacuum.
Vacuum?
Now Phoenix rotated. You can't just be like that.
Well, obviously there's going to be rotations.
Yeah, okay. Well, with that logic, no lane is ever unlosable because you could 5-man gank it. Okay, well, fair enough. That's,
oh, Shad.
You're technically right. I can appreciate that.
Okay, surely he's not going to die again to 2 supports.
No. Sucks it doesn't have mana.
They are harassing the absolute crap out of him, though.
Yeah. Power Rune will be going to Navi's side. Lina will find an Invis. Not too much mana to write home about, though.
Here. He's going to take a full Rocket Barrage, but the Jingu stacks are up. And that's going to force a TP out. There's Sanctity making his way over. He's level 6, so has the level advantage over BZM. Means Laguna Blade at the ready.
Yeah, no point in LSA, though. So
yeah,
somebody else to stun them up.
Well. Yeah, we'll see if they... I think it was a 4-0-4 build in the game that we were...
it was a 4-0-3, and then he's killed stun level 9. And that was... Was it Mallory? I think it was Mallory.
It's a 4 versus 1 here, so we're just going to go out on the limb and say Kaori's dead.
Yeah, you're right. They're crushing that top lane. It was definitely losable.
That's right.
4-man gank will get the job done. Yeah, I wonder, I've seen this be popular on Lina in general of bypassing the point in LSA. I feel like if you're laning against Monkey King, that does sound like a pretty strong value point to have one of, like, let's say...
Ooh, RP not going to do too much here. Not sure if that was dodged with Slight.
I don't think it was. I think it just flat out missed.
Okay.
Just probably trying to get him on max range and then be able to skewer him into tower. And if that connects, probably would be a kill because Boom was only level 5. And I can understand Dyrachyo trying to go for that kill there. Like, let's say that's a 50% chance.
Yeah.
I think he should actually try it because shortly after, if Ember hits 6, that play doesn't really exist anymore. So you want to get it while it's possible.
Well, now Dyrachyo's
don't want to die,
double teamed. Has skewer though.
Oh, he's fine. Oh, 2
double
TPs
TP
coming
supports.
in. Boom's still 5. Yeah. He's about to get 6. If he got 2 creeps here, he would be 6, I think. He needs more than just the melee there. And now...
Oh boy, Wukong's command. And that should be the death of the Ember. Boom will be taken to the grave. Great rotations from BZM. He's been very active so far in this game.
Teams have generally been banning his Monkey King. BZM has been owning it up from that mid lane. And off to a hot start here once again on that hero. Now, Na'Vi trying a big move of their own here, bringing both supports mid, but this is an extremely uncharacteristic ganking combo of Bounty on a Warlock.
Yeah. Really strong. They need the stun from Cubify. They get it into the dive.
He's alive.
Whitemon lives.
Yeah, that's just...
Very fearsome gank.
They'll pressure the tower, though, so it's not all for naught. It wasn't in vain. I just said the same thing twice. Shad. Gonna get run down by... Oh, he could skill his ult and just kill him. He doesn't even need to. Oh my man. He's level 4 against level 7. I told you, this top lane...
is unkillable, this Gyro.
I refuse to believe 33 could lose this lane. And boy, was I right.
Yeah, you cursed the crap out of that.
I definitely did, but I will say, I do think Na'Vi kind of dropped the ball a little bit on how they played that lane, though. I think, sure, you can die to the Phoenix rotation, but having lost that top lane this hard minute 9, I think it's just not... This should not be happening. I'm curious what the panel will have to say about that afterwards, because I think no matter what happens in this game, that is worth highlighting, because this was something that should have just been a flat-out staple lane for Na'Vi.
Yeah.
It's one they're very comfortable on, so that...
Nice dust. Cubify.
Oh yeah, he's just dead.
Trying to deny himself, but can't even get off an auto attack.
Yeah, and if he could, the creeps couldn't get one off either.
Yeah, that's true. BZM, he's going to jump Kaori, only level 4 on this Warlock. As Sanctity is going to show himself Wukong's command for the extra armor. And the dive in from Whitemon as Boom is level 6 now, so you'd have to think he's going to be able to live his Laguna Blade. Trying to be used onto 33, but he had his ult up. And that is the death onto Sanctity now. But now 33 has to be a little bit careful. Gets off the Abadish, able to take off the Searing Chase. Egg is placed under the tier 2 tower. Kaori trying with all his might to take it out, but ain't happening, son. Kaori will be run down by 33 does not have his ult. We'll get the Aphotic Shield off. Will they finally get something in this engagement? Yes. Na'Vi finally take out Mr. 33 as Boom dies on the sideline. 4 for 1.
They are stomping them 4v5. Magnus is bot farming.
That's true.
That's
oh boy.
A major concern here. And that, I mean, this is what can happen when your top lane goes this poorly and your supports don't have levels. There's only 2 charges on Kaori's Grimoire, so he can't get the Chaotic Offering yet. We're 11 minutes in and Warlock's 4.5. In this tournament, we see level 8 Warlocks at minute 8. So he is so far behind. Bounty Hunter still needs to find that track, and the hero itself doesn't create that much opportunity in fights. He's more about giving information to other players to make moves. But it's just that not that much in the tank right now. Once again, begs the question, could maybe one stun point on Sanctity, could that have changed something in these engagements where maybe you could have killed the Monkey King because you got a stun chain off with the Bounty Hunter, or slight chains into LSA could generate some opportunity. I really, this is the second time now that we see this 4-0-3 build. I think it made more sense in the other game that we casted, but like how much better is this than 4-1-2? Like how big is that difference mathematically to give up that? If you think about risk reward, right? It just feels like the reward of getting 1 point in stun is massively high.
You're preaching to the choir, Cinderella.
I don't know. I see this a lot of the time, so I'm thinking I must be missing something, right? But
probably.
Yep. That's. Thank you. That's probably right.
Whitemon. Oh, that's Fatal Bonds is gonna.
He is getting bound. They have.
Just dead. Oh. Yeah, that is unfortunate Fatal Bond.
A Aphotic Shield was 1 second off cooldown, but too late. Oh, they'll find a pick there. And track online.
Yeah, I think if last game was any indication,
Navi's about to win a team fight.
Yeah, Navi's going to win a big team fight here.
I think Dyrachyo's farm is bizarre. 140 CS minute 12. Just completely uncontested. He's farming up a Storm. There's just nothing stopping him. Level 11.5. The second highest level hero in the game is level 9 and is on his team. That's the Abaddon. And the Lina on the opposing team, I suppose, but absolutely dwarfing everyone. Letting Magnus, in this patch, there's a lot of teams that rate this as like a #1 first pick, right? If you give this hero away and you also give it a free lane, like that's asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Well, Whitemon's going to take a Laguna and live through the day. Still has his ult as well. Not even close at all.
Could have been an interesting situation if Sanctity had a stun.
Oh, this is a big kill, though. BZM not able to get off the Boundless Strike, but the RP recovery from Dyrachyo takes out Shad.
He might kill him on the creeps.
Yes,
oh, what did
leave off the creeps.
Hang on. Was he visible? Was he dusted?
Sanctity dies on the other side.
I think Cubify wasn't dusted. He actually ran up and gave Magnus the only cleave available.
Yeah,
if he wasn't dusted, he kind of killed himself there.
And now a stack taken out by 33 and company. Tundra, I mean, they lose BZM, who's had a really good game, but they get everything else in return.
And I would say in contrast to game #1, I think finding the dream team fight for Na'Vi is a lot harder with this lineup than the previous one. You don't
have yet to see Chaotic Offerings, so don't say that
setups.
yet, Cinderella.
Yeah. Oh, here comes Soxa.
Soxa, he's going to get the Hex off, but he's already taken a hefty amount of damage. There's the Fatal Bonds. Kaori looking for the Chaotic Offering. This will be a lot of damage. 33 will take off the Fatal Bonds this time as the dive into the Wukong's command with the egg as well. Shad. Okay, Chaotic Offering is placed onto 2, but more of a defensive measure to try to dissuade them from pursuing any further. And now Na'Vi will try to catch up, get the tracks off, but yeah, with that Aphotic Shield, just constant dispels on Fatal Bonds, on track.
Dyrachyo took a tier 2 tower top.
Oh!
He has 172 CS now. He has about twice as much as Lina and 3 times as much as Gyro.
Has he been within like 200 range of an ally in the last 10 minutes?
I don't think he's been within 2,000 range of an ally. Actually, that's incorrect. He did get the RP right after Monkey King.
Yeah, but he died first, so he was probably 800 range maybe, as there's the Harpoon into Skewer. Sanctity does have LSA. He's just going to get smacked around.
I think this is the most free farm hero I've seen this tournament. Like, he's genuinely untouched on Mag. Completely out of control. So a 10,000 gold lead now. for the side of Tundra. Half of that lead is Mag over Gyro. It's actually more. He's 6K ahead of the enemy carry minute 15. That's 400 GPM advantage on the carry to carry.
That is rough.
That's unreal. These are Alchemist graphs, you know? This is a free farming Alchemist net worth distribution. What is going on? Well, if Na'Vi aren't going to do anything about it, it's going to be another 1,000 ahead in 2 minutes.
Another tower for Dyrachyo.
Okay, so now he's taking... What's the tower damage like in this game? I think Magnus has done more building damage than the rest of his team combined.
Probably.
Which is extremely unusual.
Yep, that is exactly right.
What is that, dude? It's Mag. What in the world?
Well, Saksa will get his shard from the Tormy.
Yep, the foul play. And he'll get the XP. They also got the other XP. No, they did not actually. Warlock did get that. Okay. All right, Na'Vi, it's time to do something. You're getting cooked.
Well, Chaotic Offering is needed. 20 seconds away still, though. Searing Chains going to open things up for Boom. Dyrachyo will skewer away. Both tracked. Or just one tracked, actually.
Shannon, here's my question.
Yes.
How did the same team get Magnus and Abaddon in this patch? How did that happen?
Yeah, these heroes have looked really...
Na'Vi first picked Ember for themselves, which is, you know, if you want to run that, that's all fine and dandy, but you did that, gave away Mag and Abaddon and Monkey King.
Yeah, it's something
Am I
else.
missing? Like, what's going on in the coaching staff of Na'Vi? To me, this is crazy that they gave this lineup away like this.
Well, they're not only getting Rosh successfully, but they get a free kill onto the Lina, Saksa. He's getting pretty low. There's the RP onto 2, though. Dyrachyo just farming everything that stands in his way, and right now, it's Boom. He's gonna get Boundless struck. BZM will steal it. Either way, 4 for 1 and Rosh. Tundra running away with this game too.
And this is when, now it's time to find out, are Tundra paid by the minute or by the win? Because first game, you could argue that that one dragged out way more than it had to. This one, it's almost 1k GPM lead, minute 17. This is the type of game that you can finish before the half-hour mark easily if you just push your advantage and get it done. But
we'll see if they get overconfident, as we've seen in the past. And by the past, I mean literally last game. BZM, he's pretty low, gets off his ult, but the Lugana Blade is enough.
okay. That's a 1,000 gold kill.
Yeah.
It's about 5% of the lead. Step by step.
Uh-oh, Dyrachyo. He's looking for an opening. And that is going to be onto Boom's face. Gets destroyed.
That's called a
Skewer
mouth.
into their base. Shad just getting beat down.
Oh my god, I mean, this is not...
Dyrachyo doesn't have RP for 45 seconds. It doesn't matter. These cores are being deleted right now.
This is so abnormal that it looks like smurfing, you know? Like, actually, this looks like somebody who's playing 5,000 MMR below their rating. That's how free his game is. He's just toying with them. He just run at them like... I don't know, it's just abnormal, man.
Yeah, not much Na'Vi can do at this rate.
What the fuck? Wait, what's this GPM? 800 on Mag, minute 19.
Not bad. What's the average Alchemist game?
I mean, 800 GPM on Alch minute 19 is already really good, because like a really high Alch game is 1,000, right?
Yeah.
But the GPM goes up over time. So him having 800, this is Alchemist tier. It really is.
Now Dyrachyo daring them to go on him. Still has Aegis for 2.5.
Yep. They can chill.
Yeah,
they want
Thunder
to.
going to reset now that their life totals are a bit low. And there's still a tier 2 bot that they can click 3 times and take.
Yeah, Dyrachyo needs to try to get 5-digit tower damage on Magnus for the first time in Dota history.
I'm sure that's happened.
It probably has, but...
Everything's happened in Dota.
Yeah, until it hasn't, Shannon.
It's true.
Such as giving Abaddon and Mag
we
together.
haven't seen Rosh poop in the river. That has not...
That is true. That's right. I've got the good ideas.
Cubify gets taken out. Dyrachyo looking for an opening. Still plenty of time on this Aegis. What a shellacking, man. Yeah, crazy. I thought after last game we'd see a little bit more competitive because of how sloppy Tundra were looking, and we're going to see the opening now, and just a free kill.
Nice Orchid usage there.
Dyrachyo has the RP, will use it. No chaotic offering used there. Egg placed along with the Wukongs. That insult to injury here as Sanctity does use his ult. All right. Laguna was enough with the right clicks to take 33 out. Kaori, this is a dieback for him. Buyback now comes out from Boom, but just all you can do is try to go for the supports and hope for the best. Pray to Gaimin that they allow him to die.
What Dyrachyo is doing?
Dyrachyo
This is illegal.
Still has Aegis, so BT dubs. No longer.
All right, can they get him twice?
Dyrachyo. He's gonna go for the Lina kill, but no. Good pike to take away. Ember, this is a dieback for you, good sir.
Time to Manta dodge the rocket.
Yep, he does it. Dyrachyo. He's gonna try to backstab now, potentially. Saksa eventually will die. Glimmers, because of that shard, he's able to do so. Gets the shackle, though, as Whitemon with the Sunray to follow. We're gonna watch Dyrachyo, though, because he is just pounding on everybody. GG's called. Can he get this final kill for the road? Dyrachyo needs it. He wants it. He gets it. Double kill, Dyrachyo! As Tundra will easily take this game number 2, and the series